you hear this cliche and it sounds cliche, but frankly, facts tell, stories sell. We fall in love with the facts so much. And when I first got involved in network marketing, I fell in love with the facts, giving the facts. Let me tell you about the product. Let me tell you about the company. Let me tell you about the compensation plan. Let me tell you about the team. Let me tell you about the support. Let me tell you about the training. Let me tell you all the stuff. Facts, information. Let me tell you the ingredients in the product. Let me tell you, all the statistical stuff. And I thought that statistics was going to attract people. The facts, the info was going to attract people. You know what I found out? For the most part, until you capture their imagination, nobody cares. Nobody cares about how the compensation plan and, well, we pay out more than anybody in the industry and the awards that somebody won, and nobody cares until you can capture their imagination. And you capture their imagination through story. You build rapport through story. You connect at the heart. You build trust through story. Because if you think about, if you have a bridge that's over two pieces of land, there's water in between, there's a bridge here, right? You have to build trust. The trust is this bridge, and then you can transfer belief. Once you build the trust, and stories help to build trust. And then the belief can be built through other stories, through facts, through information, through follow-up, through experience, through, personal connection. You can transfer the belief, but you've got to build the trust first. So my evolution started really heavy with facts, and I literally got slapped in the face. I wanted to tell people all the ingredients of the product and why it was so amazing, and everybody was just yawning. Everybody was just, you couldn't wait for my presentation to be over. And to be honest, the first stories that I learned to tell were not my story. I learned out of self-preservation, because when I started, I was 23 years old, right? So telling my story, I didn't think had any power. So I learned to tell the story of other successful people in my company. That was my first stage. Let me tell you a story about my upline. Let me tell you the story about my sponsor. Let me tell you the story about this person who changed their life. Let me tell you the story about this, stay-at-home mom that's making a fortune. Let me tell you the story about this person who was in a trailer park, living in a trailer in the end of a dirt road 90 days ago, and they just moved into their dream house. Let me tell you the story. Let me tell you the story. Let me tell you the story about the products. Let me tell you a story. And somebody told me something in the training, because I'm going to focus on how you can tell your story, because I believe it's literally your business card. This is your calling card. It needs to be part of your DNA, learning how to tell your story. But I also got to tell you that one of my early mentors told me, if you want to be successful in network marketing, understand this principle. We are storytellers, and we are very well paid storytellers. So decide that you're going to become good at telling stories, not giving facts. Matter of fact, if you look at the Bible, regardless of your spiritual beliefs, what is the Bible filled with? Not prescriptions on how to live your life, stories. It's filled with stories. Here's an example of good things that'll happen if you follow these principles. And here's an example of bad things that are going to happen. And here's the story of David and Goliath. And here's the story of this person being turned into a pillar of salt. And here's the story of this person being swallowed up by a whale. And all of the stories are what people remember. if the Bible was literally just a collection of tutorials of what to do, it would have had one impact on the world. But because it's a collection of stories, it had a different impact on the world. So I want you to fall in love with stories. I want you to fall in love with being a storyteller. I want you to fall in love with collecting stories. Because stories, we're going to get to your story, but stories are your most powerful tool.